Hello and welcome to another episode of the What's Up Wenatchee podcast. Happy St. Patrick's Day. This is how we roll. We are podcasting and live streaming right from the Town Toyota Center. We are on the concourse today, celebrating St. Patrick's Day ahead of St. Hattrick's night. That is what's going on here tonight. It's going to be a big celebration. Doors open 5:45 for the general public, and then all the fun. That is where it happens, right here on the concourse to my left and to my right, and they've got all the games and all the raffles, and then I will be here doing music and karaoke, and that's going to be a really fun time. And that goes until first puck drops at 7:05 against the Merritt Centennials tonight for St. Patrick's Night. So I hope people have their green on, or else you're going to get pinched today. And that was the case when I went and picked up Grayson. Hi, how are you?
Good morning.
You got your green on.
Yes.
But that was not the case when I showed up at your door today.
No. My favorite color is St. Patrick's Day, and
What happened?
I dropped the ball.
But you recovered very quickly.
I did recover.
Look at you. You are in the spirits.
Hey, that's what St. Patrick's Day is all about, is to be in the spirit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not me. I'm not going to be in the spirits.
Oh, well, I don't mean those kind of spirits.
No, I know, but that's what most people do on St. Patrick's Day, is it not?
Yeah, it's an amateur party hour. That's
64%. Drinking goes up 64% on St. Patrick's Day, in case you didn't know. Just so you know, I did try this out on Ryan before I walked out of the house, and he said you should not wear that.
Which is exactly why
I'm wearing it. So. And yeah, it is going to stay on through the length of the show. We do have a great show for you today, as we do every week. We do this every Friday from 12 till 2. You can always go back onto the What's Up Wenatchee YouTube page. I'm trying to look at myself and take myself seriously. It's almost like I can't do it. But you can go back on our YouTube page. We have all of the past archives of our live broadcast, which started right here on the 3rd season. We do have 2 seasons of audio podcasts that you can go back and listen to. And then we started this live format here in the 3rd season. On today's show, we are going to continue to celebrate St. Patrick's Day and give you all of the information on everything going on in the area for not just St. Patrick's Day, but throughout the rest of the weekend, because it is a pretty busy weekend in and around the North Central Washington area. We're going to talk to Walt Kursave, who is the Wenatchee Wild Booster Club president. Yeah, so he's going to tell us about how they're raising money for the Booster Club and for the Wenatchee Wild, and the good that they do all throughout the year, even when the Wenatchee Wild aren't on the ice. We're also going to try and get in touch with Joe, who is the owner and the chef at Blue Skies Food Truck. We're going to try and nail him down. It's like nailing Jell-O to the wall. That's like my favorite new saying. But he is having a really busy day because the food truck is getting ready for their big night, the big party, St. Patrick's Day party up at Union Hill Cider Company tonight.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Very big deal up there tonight.
Yeah. I got invited to go by Joe, and he was like, dinner's on me if you come up, because I've actually never tried his food before.
I've heard remarkable things about his food, and I'm very curious.
Yeah.
And he changes up the menu.
Curious in a good way. Yeah, he changes up the menu a lot, and this guy, I got to talk to him because he's a foodie like me, and it's not like he's a one-trick pony either. Like you said, he changes things up. So we're going to try and talk to him today, too, on the show. And in case you haven't heard, there's construction that's going to happen at the beginning of April on a 2-lane roundabout North Wenatchee. And I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
One way or another. And then there's some people who are just like, whatever, another roundabout. I can't even think about it anymore. So we're going to talk about that. And for my astrology. I guess it would be astrology, astronomy. It's astrology and astronomy. This is actually a bit of both.
It is.
Pluto is entering Aquarius at the end of March. And so I have been given a warning from my good friend Jason Underwood. So I'll tell you who he is and why he's warning me about that a little bit later on in the program as well. So that's what we got coming up today. It sounds like a pretty packed program again, right?
As usual, and that's a good thing.
As usual, yeah. So What's Up Wenatchee is partially supported by Susie Health Solutions and Wenatchee Insurance. Insurance shopping sucks. If you go online, you can expect your phone to blow up and your email box to be filled with contacts until the sun burns out. Products are confusing. I mean, honestly, what is catastrophic versus full coverage? I don't even know what that means. 11 years ago, Matt and Susie, they saw a change in health insurance coming, and they started helping people for free with Apple Health, with Apple Health. So, and you go on to Washington Health Plan Finder, and they were doing that absolutely for free. And then they saw some gaps in like dental and vision and Medicare. So they put contracts together with the companies and started offering those too. So like when you walk in their office, it's very relaxed. They've got national park posters up on the walls. They're dressed kind of like I am today with sweatshirts and maybe jeans or leggings. Minus, don't laugh. Minus the bow. Okay, minus the bow. Maybe not minus the bow. Susie is very fashionable, but that's what it's like. It's very comfortable when you go in and you see them. I asked questions until I was blue in the face, and they never ever made me feel stupid. I just didn't give up, and I wanted to get something that I could understand. I didn't want to get something I didn't understand, you know? So, and then this past January, they started doing homes, autos, businesses. They partnered with Shayla, and now they've contracted with a bunch of insurance companies to create bundles and fill in those gaps. So now you can get in one place your health and your home insured. It's Susie Health Solutions and Wenatchee Insurance. They're both located at 413 North Mission Street, or you go to enrollmentcenter.org. And so that reminds me, you know, we are partially supported by Susie Health Solutions, and they have been a big supporter of Nikki and Nikki Darling, Darling Productions, and now What's Up Wenatchee podcast. And what exactly like does that mean, right? We talk about they support us and they've always been a supporter. Does that always mean financially? Does that mean they're there with pom-poms cheering me on the sideline? I don't know exactly. What does that mean?
Well, I think that that means that they're partnering with you, and we're here to make sure that people hear about them, and they're here to make sure that people hear about us. And it's kind of like it's a relationship of sorts, right?
That's exactly it. That is exactly it. And I think I have relationships with not just businesses, but organizations and nonprofits. And I don't just go to people and talk to them and then say, okay, hey, have a nice day. Thanks for your time. And then I never talk to them again. I actually sit and like get to know people and their families, like the people who run these organizations, right? And the people who run the businesses and the people who are doing things out in the community. And when you build those relationships, then you become invested in their lives. Like I actually feel emotionally invested in Matt and Susie and Shayla and their whole business. And they in turn actually feel emotionally invested in me, and whatever comes along with that, they want to see me succeed. And I think that actually goes way beyond dollars and cents, does it?
No, it does, because it's like I said, it's a relationship of sorts.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the bottom line. And that is kind of, well, it's not even kind of, It is part of your business motto, and people don't see your hustle, so they don't see what you're doing day to day off camera. But Nikki is
Some people do, yeah.
hustling every day. I mean, it's hard sometimes to flag you down just because you've got people that you're talking to, meetings that you're going into, and places you need to be, proposals that you're writing. There's like a lot that goes on behind the scenes that it's very crucial for this podcast,
Right.
But it's also very crucial for this business, and it's building businesses. It's making partnerships with businesses and making it stronger and making it about the community and then keeping it just so intact. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of work that goes into this. I mean, I help you out, and it's pretty minimal compared to the copious amounts of conversations.
I don't know. I think there are people out there that are probably watching going, this is just a podcast.
It's not just a podcast.
Come on. This can't really be all that much work. And we've said a few times in passing on this podcast and on a few other live broadcasts that that we are now fully community supported, or thank you for all your support, or it's something of that nature, kind of almost in a passing glance, or just so nonchalant, just hey. And I've had a couple of people stop me in the past couple of weeks and ask me about it. Like, what do you mean, you guys are fully community supported? And I had to be like, wow, I guess this really is not something we've stopped and talked about, even on the podcast, maybe off the podcast, or people who know personally. But yeah, there was choices that needed to be made, like very purposefully for this podcast to move forward where it is in its third season, in a live format, and talking to the people that we talk to in the ways that we want to talk to them. And to be able to do that, you cannot be owned by a corporation. You can't be corporately owned.
That's right. Let's talk about it. I feel like you have a lot to say about this.
I do have a lot to say about it. So Darling Productions, which runs and owns this podcast, right? It is owned by a company, but it is a small business that is free enterprise, which is very different from being owned, run by a corporation. When you are working for a corporation, they have the say of what you can do, sometimes what you can wear, and what you can't say. And if you have personal, a lot of people understand this. They work for companies, they work for corporations. You are allowed to have your own belief systems and ethics, but you are a representation of that organization, that corporation, while you are working for them. So does free speech exist within a corporation?
It's a very good question.
It's a very good question. It is a very good question, because I mean, I don't know. I would put that out for people to discuss. I'd say it's censored. There's censored free speech if you're owned in a corporation, because I essentially, when I worked in radio broadcasting for 20 years. 20 years. And I'm still a broadcaster. I still consider myself a broadcaster. And so you have to realize that in radio, we get 30 seconds to a minute to talk about what we get to talk about, to give information, to make it interesting, and to make people laugh. That's 50 punchlines a day, churning them out over and over and over and over and over again.
But it's not your personal opinion.
Right.
You're making sure that you're emphasizing what the corporation wants you to emphasize.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, they also say, well, make sure you have a personality. Make sure you shine through, and make sure, but make sure it aligns with who the company is. All of those things. Like, have a personality, be you, but don't be too you.
Be more generic.
Don't be too you.
Yeah, be more generic you.
Yeah.
Be more conservative you.
Right. And
that changes, that stifles who you are and your personality shining through. So I mean, what you're essentially saying is that people have heard you on the radio. It's not exactly all you shining through.
Right. It's not like it's not me, because that is me. Like, it's my personality. I'm making up the jokes, or I'm making up the punchlines, or I'm talking about my family. I talk about people got to know me through the characters that I was introducing them to. Because I did get a chance to do those types of things, and I really always appreciate that. But I would always get this, like, you're going too long, you talk too much, like, cut it down, less is more. And so what that does in an essence is you don't get to have conversations, like real conversations. You get to dialogue, but you don't get to have conversations that are organic and natural. Even when you're interviewing somebody, you're like, okay, what are your bullet points? Who are your sponsors? Let's hit the mark. Okay, bye. That's the way it goes, because you get like 2-3 minutes. Let's get the who, what, where, when, why, and make sure you thank your sponsors and be on your way. I think there's a better way.
I think there is. I think that's what you're doing with this podcast, is shining through who you are and things that you're passionate about, and bringing to the community all of these things going on around us, and places and small business. It's pretty inspiring. And this is for you, I imagine this must be extremely freeing to be just more of yourself and be able to put content out there that you're proud to put out there, that you're not being censored for. The whole point of not being censored doing this live stream podcast, I feel, really does represent your personality. And behind the scenes, and people don't see this, is I get to see you ask questions of people that you might normally not get to ask.
Yeah.
And you get to have a very organic dialogue with them, which is not forced, and there's a lot of heartfelt conversations that have transpired through this podcast, which is wonderful when you get to hear other people say, oh my gosh, I caught your live stream podcast that you guys were doing, and I really like so-and-so that you had on the program, and wow, I had no idea. You go to all these different venues, you're at all these different places, and it's nice. You got to admit, it's nice to hear this kind of feedback.
We're getting a lot of very positive feedback, but my insides at this moment in time is to immediately defend radio.
Well, yeah,
because
naturally.
I kind of feel like I just dumped on it, but I me, I still walk around with a sweatshirt that says Radio Nerd. Right. I feel like there's nobody out there that loves the medium of radio more than I do. I love it so much. And I know that there's a place for we need to get the who, what, where, when, why information out there. And we need to thank our sponsors because they actually do help us put these things on, and we want to appreciate them and acknowledge them. I'm not dismissing or diminishing the impact of that,
right?
But I didn't. But I think it's much more impactful when we can have real conversations with people about why they're doing what they're doing.
Right.
Why are you having a Wine Women Shoes event? Why are you raising money for cancer research? Why are you trying to help the homeless? Like, why is this important to you? Why is this important for our community? Why?
It's a direct reflection of our community and how we are as members of our community.
Because it's going to be important for those people who are doing that work. And if we can't see that passion, then we can't see our community for what it really is.
Very true. Very, very true.
So I want to give people a chance. If you want, we stream onto 7 different platforms, but you do get a chance to interact with us if you want to. I have the interactive text line number is up right now, 509-795-5602. That actually comes right to my phone. It's not my personal cell phone number, sorry, but it is the interactive text line for this show. And then wherever you are, if you are on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitch or right on YouTube, you can put a comment in and I can actually see it. It will come up in front of me and I can see it right there. So do be mindful of that. Also, if you're just like gonna hate on me, just know I will see it in real time. And I can call you out on the spot. So that's also a real deal.
But I encourage the listeners to comment and to use this text line, because there might be something that you really want to hear in the content we're talking about, and we're not answering your questions or we're not giving another perspective. And we do encourage you to go ahead and reach out to us, and
always tell us what you want to see, talk about, or if we're not covering something, or if there's somebody out there that's doing something in the community that we're just not catching, because we can't be everywhere all at once. Because look, this is it, right? That's the point. This is what I'm trying to tell people, right? I am not a corporation. I am me. I am one person right now building this business. And Grayson is volunteering his time. This doesn't work for me. He does this because he believes in the mission.
It's very true.
Like, he believes in the power in the medium of storytelling and communication. We do this every day. Why? Because we love it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you came to me and you were talking about a podcast, and your podcast had already been on a couple of seasons, I was like, yeah, podcast.
Right.
But it really was. I was like, it's podcast.
My same.
And
thought then about podcasts at the beginning too.
And then I was with my tattoo artist in a session, and she's talking about all these podcasts that she listens to. And she's like, hey, man, just so you know, there's like this whole wide platform of different types of podcasts. Yeah. This is what I listen to, but you have this and you have this over here. And so I went and looked into it, and I got back to you, and I was like, I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, Nikki, there's like all different types of podcasts out there, and they're like so popular, and they're like all over, and they're like anywhere. They're like in people's, like, they have podcasts live in their house, or they play music. There's like radios there. There's like crime, and there's news.
Oh my gosh, true crime podcasts are like just so popular.
Yeah, so when you said, hey, I'm taking this live and this is what I want to do, I immediately wanted to support you. A, because free speech. B, because I knew you in a way that most people only know you as just radio. And that's how I got to know you. It was just how you were on the radio. When you see Nikki outside of the radio, you see the actual person. And that is... it's powerful, because then when I realized you saying, I'm on radio.
What do you mean by that though?
I used to be like, because my dad was in radio when I was a kid. I used to be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. You're on radio. You're a DJ. That's so cool. And you're like, okay, calm down. It's still a job. It's still my job. And it was like you were trying, without using a lot of words, to say, yes, this is what I do and I love it, but am I really being who you're seeing right now?
Right.
And it just didn't make that click, that correlation, until this came along, and I really put myself out there and learning about what this was all about, and listening to you and what your mission was, the vision that you have for this business, how you want to build it, how you want to grow it. And I couldn't help but want to do whatever I can to help you. And since I'm not working right now, I have this ability to help in any way that I can. And I did not want to like be on this with you. I strictly wanted to be behind the scenes. But I get it, and I get where you're going with it, and I want to support it and nurture it like a little baby, just like see it through, because I do believe in you, and I get to see things that other people don't get to see from behind the scenes, and I get to see the amount of work, the volume and magnitude of work that you put into this. So it's not like you're just leaving home every day and kind of gallivanting around town.
My husband thought that when I okay. So let's take a pause for a second. Okay? I got a cough. And so when I say this was a purposeful choice, people might not know exactly what I mean by that. And the purposeful choice was that I was working in radio, as most people know, and working the business of the podcast at the same time, which is why we had the audio podcast. So, and it wasn't really a business; it was a podcast that was on the side, and oh man, it's not easy to even when you can say what you want to say what you want, right? Because honesty, once you say it, it's out there. But I was not able to always talk about what I wanted to talk about in the way that I wanted to talk about it, because I always had in the back of my mind that I needed to be a reflection of the company that I was working for, and I needed to align with their
business politics,
their business
I call
policies.
There you go. You
their
can call
business
policies.
And I always respected that. I always respected that. Not once did I deviate from that.
But you censored yourself in so doing, because you have to follow those.
that is what you have to do.
And now you don't have to do that.
So the choice was that needed to be severed. That connection needed to be severed so that this free speech could flourish. And that I could have conversations that I wanted to have in the way that I wanted to have them, and not feel like, and I'm still feeling like I'm but now I'm stifling myself to just get the words out in the way that I want to get them out in the right way and tactfully. And I think that's just more me wanting to do my business in the way that I want to do my business. Right. And so the consequence of making that decision is that not that this podcast was ever owned by the radio company, but I was, my entity was. So now that is free, this podcast is what I do full time.
And you put a lot into it.
Like there's the podcast and the podcast network, and my belief in that, and the mission of having this free speech entity building out different shows, and using this as a forum for our community's message, was so important to me that I put it all on the line. I bet the farm.
Oh yeah, because
literally, I bet the farm, because we literally just bought a house.
Yeah, but you're building small business around you. You're making things relevant that haven't really gotten that kind of notoriety. Because let's just face it, they don't have the money to pay for marketing. Mm-hmm. It's not free.
Right.
you have to pay for that airtime. And this is just another means of like getting those smaller businesses out there and getting people interested in knowing that they're there. And I love that about this particular podcast, that is literally your hustle. Is you don't see anything and anyone as competition. You just see it as a relationship, a positive, nurturing relationship, which is really vital in the times that we live in today. Because where we want to be so selfish and self-centered, you literally bet the farm by putting yourself out there and working with all of these different businesses. And it's like you're not competing. You're just like, hey,
going, hey guys, I think this is a great idea, and I'm hoping that you're all going to support me, and I'll use you if you use me. Like I'll use your business if you use my business. I'll support you if you support mine. So yeah, it was a huge risk.
And I think it's been working quite well. I think that it's gained a lot of visibility. I mean, you even go out and support other people who run karaoke businesses, and you go out there with like this pride, not chip on your shoulder, but this pride of like enjoying it. And I just want to highlight, like, you did that, and you had a video that actually got posted of you singing. And here you're wearing Darling Productions colors, and you're at somebody else's gig and you're singing. And the beauty of it was you have the full support of that business owner. And that is like so cool to see, because you don't see that. You just don't see that. And I see you doing that all around.
Hustle. We understand.
Yeah, it's great. That's what makes this podcast, like, I want to, like, that's why I do what I do. Whenever you ask me to do something, because I see that positivity. And I'm like, I want to run with that. I want to be on board with the good things that are going on out there, and not get dragged down into the things that typically drag us down, right?
Yeah.
So I strive to be a better version of myself every day. And all I need to do is tune out all the other things going on. And this is one of those things that I get excited. I get excited on Thursday night for Friday. And I don't like to be on the air, but I enjoy being part of what's going on. And this is like a bigger picture for me. It's opening my eyes to things that I never saw going on where I live, so it's great.
Say hi to Annalie.
Hi, Annalie.
I've got her comment up on the screen. She says, hi guys, happy St. Patty's Day, loving the green.
Happy St. Patty's Day to you, Annalie.
Annalie is the owner-operator of All Good Things Crystals, Rocks, and Minerals, where we will be broadcasting from next Friday.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm going to not spend a penny.
I know.
That's not possible, but I'm really excited.
So if I was going to say, what is the point of this entire conversation, is what I want people to realize is that, like, when you support us, when you join the Supercast community, when you sign up to be a sponsor, when you hire us to be a private event host, these not only keep free speech alive, but you really are helping to support this vision, this business, which really impacts me and my family's well-being directly.
It's true, and it's very grassroots, but it's a lot of content, and it's all content that is amazing that goes on around here.
Yeah,
and I want to see it flourish. So I mean, subscribing to something like this, you don't have to have the top tier. You
don't.
You can just you can just get that, and then the content that you get on top of it is just what's incredible. You're not just getting this live stream. You're getting all other stuff that's going on. So
we're working on it. So
getting better every day.
We're getting better all the time.
Yeah.
So if you aren't already and you're interested, and you want to help support us through the Supercast community, you just go to, I'm going to put it up here on the screen so you can see it. It's WUW for What's Up Wenatchee .supercast.com, and you'll see our different tiers of subscriptions. Some things we do have in the works right now. We have a one-on-one interview with Alice Brown from the EDD about the Small Business Supernova competition, which, Susie and Matt from Susie Health Solutions are in the Supernova competition this year. And we're going to be covering some of that on the podcast network. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So that one-on-one conversation about the whole Supernova competition will be exclusive to the Supercast community. I also am working on editing this one-on-one interview that I did with Mary Big Bull Lewis from Wenatchee Wild. And in that conversation, we talked about how well or not well we're doing as a community to help support or give reparations to the original the original dwellers of the land, the Piscosa land. So that was a really intense conversation. So that conversation is going to go up to the Supercast community. Right now, anybody who is part of our community will be entered for the giveaway. We have a pair of tickets for Step Africa. That is over at the Numerica Performing Arts Center on April 11th. That's going to be a phenomenal, step body percussion show. So cool. So I have a pair of tickets to give away for that for our community as well. And anybody who signs up until I have them gone, I have a whole bunch of them, our Safe Light Auto Glass Professional Glass Cleaner. As soon as you sign on to the community, we're going to send you a bottle of that. So we thank, I'm on the wrong thing here. So we thank our Safe Light guy, Chris, who keeps sending us cases of glass cleaner.
This is really good.
We're done.
This
we're
is
out.
Good.
I need more.
Cleaner. Yeah.
I just want to reiterate again, Grayson, and everybody's, because I don't want anybody to feel like I am crapping on radio, because this is for somebody who loves radio and broadcasting so much and how much it actually can accomplish. It continues to be this transition of accepting where I can be most impactful, right? I mean, this has been my narrative. Like, this is my story. This is why I'm doing this show. I've never really been in this position where I've been able to say what I wanted to say. So that brings me to a new segment we like to call Lyrics for Life. Lyrics for life, lyrics for life, lyrics for life. Boop. Nice. It needed something there at the end.
It did.
So
we're working on that.
It's a work in progress, guys. We lost all of our listeners. All of them are gone. And while I do this, I'm gonna turn you off.
All right.
Because our guest is, I think, sitting over in the wings.
Yep,
so I want
see
you to
him.
go get him.
All right.
And I'll do our lyrics for life. The thought behind our lyrics for life segment, and again, a work in progress, is that we get to talk about something, and then people like music. We don't get to really listen to music on the show. I'm used to doing music format broadcasting, so I'm kind of missing that element in my broadcast. So I was like, how can I incorporate this? So I picked out this song that it's been kind of playing, when you get a song stuck in your head because it's relevant in your life and it's resonating with you. That's what this is right now. So my lyrics for life for this week is coming from the band Blind Melon. We're going to go back to like 90s alt. And the name of the song is called Tones of Home. Not one of their big ones. Okay, everybody knows No Rain. I know. But this is called Tones of Home, and it just resonates with the conversation that we just had about kind of accepting that I am making an impact in a different area, in a different forum, and doing this now full time. It's a transition. So this is the lyric. This is like my open letter to the radio industry. What do you think they would say if I stood up and walked away? Nobody here really understands me, and so I wave goodbye, but I'm fine. Tones of Home. And I always thought this would be the land of milk and honey. Oh, but I come to find out that it's all hate and money, and there's a canopy of greed holding me down. Now, this is the story that, a corporate strategy kind of executed, a big corporate strategy that a lot of these companies are trying to execute them on a local level, in a place like the Wenatchee Valley is just not going to work as well as people want it to. So if you're disappointed, then maybe you'll align with what we're doing, not only on What's Up Wenatchee, but what we're building on the Darling Podcast Network. We have quite a few podcasts that are on the network, and it's building all the time. We're developing new podcasts, which is great, like different radio stations. It's like that have different music formats. These are different podcasts that are going to appeal to different people. Back of the Pack from the Numerica Performing Arts Center. Get Fresh with the Produce News, which is all produce news. Activating Your Innate Intelligence, which is all about using your mind to heal your body. Progressive Devilry. And the Suzilla Family Podcast. All others. Check out darlingpodcasts.com. And so with that, I am going to go ahead and see if it looks like they're still working on it. So one thing that I do not have interest in doing is like the same broadcast over and over and over. I like to do things differently. So this weekend is My Girlfriend's Closet, which is put on by the Women's Service League of North Central Washington. And it starts today. It's actually on right now, 10 a.m. this morning, 8 p.m. tonight, then tomorrow 10 to 8, and then 11 to 4 on Sunday. And it moved places because it was, I think, here last year. And it's over at the Wenatchee Valley Mall in East Wenatchee, at the north end of the mall. So we did do an entire episode last year with the whole like board of the Women's Service League, talking about all the great things that they do throughout the entire year, and then the grants that they distribute to all the different nonprofits and the funds from the funds that they earn. And this is their biggest fundraiser throughout the year, although they have several throughout the year, but this is the biggest one, and it's My Girlfriend's Closet, so you can check that out. It's the shopping event that gives back at the Wenatchee Valley Mall, at the north end, where I think it was the Bed Bath and Beyond was. Now it's an entire store of new or gently used clothing that it's all going to go to give back to local nonprofits. So now it's time for me to sit down with Walt from the Wenatchee Wild, and I'm not talking about that Walt. We're talking about the president of their booster club. Welcome, Walt. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for having us on. Yeah, how are you doing today?
Good, very good.
Did I take you out of something important today?
No, I'm retired. Nothing's important.
Nothing's important when you're retired. That's nice. It's a beautiful day out there too, isn't it? So a lot of people don't even know that the Wenatchee Wild have a booster club, or what a booster club is. Is this distracting you? Do you want me to take this?
Nope, not at all. Okay. Nope. Booster Club's only been in existence a couple of years. It's something we wanted to try. It's worked out very well so far. Our main plan is to be there to help the guys with things they need, equipment they need. On our away games, we always take them goodie bags to have something to eat on the bus. and that seems to have gone over very well.
But don't you have to be careful what you can put in your goodie bags, because
Yes.
they're going over the
Right.
they're going
Right.
into Canada
No
almost
fruits.
every game,
Yeah.
right?
No fruits. Some beverages can't go. And we have to be careful. Some of the guys have allergies too.
Oh yeah.
So
No
we've
peanuts.
found out what's going on, and we kind of pack those bags and give them something to eat on, because some of those bus trips are pretty long.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to go up to the border almost every single
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Did they ever get caught? Did you ever
No,
once,
never had a problem,
like,
except one time we sent apples. And
Oh.
we had to leave them there.
no apples?
So
The border agents got a bunch of apples.
just they did.
So are you guys at every home game and
Yes.
raising money? How do
Yep.
you do that?
We have little baskets that we raffle off and have drawings for. We have a fire pit that we had made from a local fellow in,
Oh, I did see
Yeah, in
that the
Leavenworth.
last time I was
and
here.
we're letting that go all season long. The drawing will be the last home game on the 25th. And it's really a nice fire pit. It's all metal, and it's got the Wild logo on it and some players and Walt, of course. And,
Right, like they etched out, like fire etched out the
Well, yeah,
the
it's done
logo.
with the plasma cutter
oh
and the
plastic.
metal.
I
Yeah.
see. I knew you would know.
So,
You're
yeah.
selling them
And
here.
and then we also have different fundraisers. And it's right now we're in the process of buying 6 ice tubs for the team.
Like they
So-
sit in,
Yes.
like after the games.
It helps with bruising, keeping swelling down and stuff like that. The boys do take some pretty rough hits on the ice. So,
Nah,
yeah,
nah.
you'd think not.
Not really. I think it's what some people forget is that they're just kids.
Well,
I
young
mean,
men,
like
yeah.
okay, young men. I say kids, but young, like they're teenagers
Yes, they are.
in high
Mhm.
school mostly,
And just out. Mhm.
or just out of
Yeah,
high school.
yeah,
Yeah,
they are.
like less than 20, and away from all of them except one are away from their families,
Yeah,
and so to have somebody do something nice for them, like make a little goodie bag to go out on the bus, or
There's a lot of the people in the club just donate things. They go out and buy them out of their own money. And we have one lady that puts it all together. And then the vice president and I, Buzz Elshire, we
Uh-huh.
take them to the boys every away game and tell them goodbye and wish them luck.
of course
fill 'em
it's
up
the
with goodies.
ladies that put it all together. It's a very mom thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. What about what else, like for their birthdays and stuff? Do you guys do
Yeah,
little
yeah.
nice
There's
things for their
one of the
birthdays?
ladies, make sure they get a cupcake and a card on their
I
birthday.
knew it.
Yeah,
I knew
yeah.
it.
We try to make them feel home. Some of these kids have been away from home, like since they were 8 or 10 years old.
Uh-huh.
And they get home, if they get home 3 to 4 weeks a year, it's lucky sometimes.
Yeah.
And I know some of them even go overseas to play. So,
Wow.
Yeah, that was kind of surprised me too.
Well, that's impressive.
Yeah,
And it's nice that, it's impressive that we have that talent right here in town too, and people to watch over them. But I mean, you said it's only been in existence for a couple of years.
Yeah, we just started a couple of years ago, and just to try and help the guys out, build morale, and try and get more people interested in coming to the games. The COVID
So whose
really
idea was
slaughtered
it
us.
though?
Yeah, I'm sorry?
Was it your idea?
No, it was not. It was Arch Ecker that got this thing going.
Yeah, Arch.
Yeah.
Good old Arch.
Yeah, we miss him.
Well, yeah. I knew Arch really well too. And so when did you take over as the president?
Well, 2 years ago, they had, elections, and I drew the short straw.
Uh-huh.
I shouldn't say that. I have really enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure. So I've been president for 2
You
years.
got to do something in
Yeah.
retirement.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Have you
I
been
do
a
have
Wild
hobbies,
fan
too.
for a long time?
Yeah.
Have you been a Wild fan for a long time?
since day one.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I forget that, because I'm not originally from Wenatchee, but I've lived here for, I guess it's going on 8 years now, but I forget that they weren't always here. It's what,
2008, their
2000.
inaugural season.
Yeah.
So it's been a real pleasure to be part of the den, if you will, the pack. So
what has been your take since seeing the evolution and seeing it grow, seeing the program grow, the whole thing?
it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
If you've never seen these young men play hockey, the caliber of their existence. I mean, the way they play and their tenacity, their love, their drive is amazing. And we have yet to meet a young man that hasn't just given you hope for the next generation. They're really amazing young men. They are.
And everybody that I talk to, Walt, says the same thing.
Yeah, they are.
That they come in here, they have such great attitudes, and the coaching staff loves them and works really well with them, and it's just like a family around here.
I think you have hats off to the whole Wild organization for the caliber of players they bring in. And if they don't fit, they don't stay. So,
it's true. It is true. Yeah. So what needs do the Booster Club have now? I mean, obviously you're always fundraising, so you can come and support at the games. But if you don't always come out to the games, is there a way to support you?
Yeah, they can. If we do have sponsors, and if you have a business, we'd love to put your card up, and we have a display board and have a large display of your business card, if you will. And so far, we've had very, very good luck with the people. Very pleased with our attempts to get them more business too, and it helps us out and helps the team out.
Yeah, I love that. I love this story being told because people love sports. They love coming to watch the sports, but as a community, to think about how we need to support the sports happening in our community. It takes things like this to exist, to have money fundraising for it, to keep the players not happy, but they want to come here to play. Right? Like, this is a place that I know when they come here to look at the team or try out, they're also kind of trying out the town. Like, dude, is this going to be where I want to live? And trying out our staff and how accommodating we are, and I know that you guys treat them really nice during tryouts too.
Yep, we always try to have goodies for them to eat there and meet the fans, let them know what's going on in the Wenatchee area. You mentioned how the people react when they come here. Mm-hmm. We've had several from back east that still think Washington is guns and cowboys and Indians. And when they come out here, they're absolutely amazed. Really, we've become friends with several from back east, and just through their sons playing here.
Right.
And it's amazing. They really, some of them want to move here now from back east. So interesting.
Right.
It is.
Well, I'm originally from the East Coast, and all my family are like, "Does it rain there all the time?" Like, no, we're not Seattle. Yeah, exactly. Well, I appreciate you taking some time with us today.
My pleasure.
Hopefully, we'll get you back on. You'll be a regular stand-in here, so we can be reminded of how important the Booster Club is for the Wenatchee Wild. And we'll be out seeing you tonight at St. Hattrick's night against the Merritt Centennials.
Great.
And want to tell everybody that is tonight, 5:45. The doors open, and make sure. Where do you guys usually set up?
Usually we're right behind us where we're sitting here in the main concourse. So
you guys get
they move us around off and on, but usually we're right behind here.
Well, make sure you find them. Look for that fire pit with the plasma laser etching. Because I did see it. It looks really cool. Yes. But you only got a few more games to buy your raffle ticket for that. So thanks
and we'll be selling 50-50 tonight too.
Ooh. So there you go.
Swing by. Maybe they got a big pot tonight.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, and happy St. Patty's Day.
Same to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, sorry. Thank you, Walt. I was already moving forward because I see Joe here in my back room, and we're gonna see if we can't get him. Let's see. Oh, hang on, Joe. I see you.
Okay, just pull it.
Oh no! Me?
No. Well, I can run off my generator.
Oh, he's talking to somebody.
I'll park. You figure it out.
All right, we'll see if we can't get him on for a second. He, like I said, it's like nailing Jello to a wall. We're gonna try and talk with Joe. He's in his Blue Skies food truck. Can you hear me, Joe?
I sure can.
There he is.
Union Hill Cider Company at this very moment, and we're figuring out where to park. And they've got live music tonight, Whiskey Trail.
That's right, big St. Patty's Day party. Yeah, give me an idea. Show us around.
Yeah, they're gonna have from 5 until 8 tonight. My beautiful truck. From 5 until 8 tonight, we'll be playing live music. And right over here, you can see, I believe, a harbor where the gets set up. Right there. Or just a tiny little box.
There, I'm trying to get a bigger. There we go. That looks nice.
Yeah, so that's the view. And they have this beautiful new building that they just built like last year. And they've got taps, and they got some other stuff like beer and wine and root beer, stuff like that. But the building is first class. It's really beautiful, and the people at Union Hill are the best. The music is awesome. The view is spectacular. The food is no slouch. We're going to be serving Irish soda biscuits made by Bosco Bread in Leavenworth with raisins in them. And we're going to be having Irish beef stew with bacon, peas, potatoes, celery, carrots, and Guinness Extra Stout. We'll be having my wife's Thai. We'll be having yellow coconut chicken curry with green curry. Because it's St. Patrick's Day, we're doing green curry. We're putting Thai basil to make sure it stays green. We'll also have fresh vegan green lettuce spring rolls with coconut curry peanut dipping sauce. And we'll have my potato soup recipe, my Irish on my shirt. Our Sharkey family union shirt.
Nice.
So I'm wearing that from my Irish heritage. Sharkey, my mom's side, is Irish.
That looks like it's going to be a really good time, Joe. So I heard there's going to be some green curry. Yeah, you caught me. Yeah, and that's up at Union Hill Cider Company with Whiskey Trail, and 5 o'clock tonight. Is that what you said?
Yeah, the live music's 5 to 8. The food will be 4 to 8.
Right. Well, my plan is to make it up there. I'll be down here until about first puff, 7:05. And then I'm shimmying my way up to you to come get some food.
Okay. I'll save you your +1 something. Would you like the
yes, please.
Or the green curry, or one of each?
One of each. Are you kidding? Okay. I want to try everything.
I got to roll because I got to park and I can't drive.
Go. But thank you for the update, and I'm so glad we got a chance to talk to you.
Here's Andy, the owner of Union Hill.
Oh, hey. Hi.
He's the legend, the brainchild behind all this.
Call me.
Okay, I'll give you your contact. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, that was fun. So there you go. Joe Galinsky from Blue Sky Food Truck. And they're going to be up at, well, he's just arriving. You saw it. We got like a little exclusive there with him as he was literally arriving at Union Hill Cider Company.
That just looks so. I'm excited.
It's not on.
I like talking to myself. No, I'm excited.
Woo.
Green curry.
Green curry.
I'm sold.
Did you hear what else he had?
No, I didn't get to hear all of it, but I was salivating on the repeats.
Yeah. Go back and So good. Yeah, it looks like a cool place. I haven't been up there yet, but I'm going to go up there and check it out.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be tonight. Got a big St. Patty's Day party. That seems early for a St. Patty's Day party, though, doesn't it?
It's okay. With everything going on, you got to get in and fit in.
That's true. Okay, well, since I said that, right? All the things that are happening this weekend, I can go through that. That's a really good segue, Nikki, isn't it? Before I do that, is there anything up here that I want to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to put the interactive text line back up in case anybody wanted to text in. Also, if you want to give write in your comments. We are taking your comments on any of the 7 platforms that we are currently live streaming on. So in and around the North Central Washington area, of course, we just saw the party happening. They're getting ready up at Union Hill Cider Company. That's food starts at 4, music starts at 5, go until about 8:30 tonight. You got other music. You got live music down at Pybus with Brittany Jean. Live music early on at Columbia Valley Brewing with Riley Franks. I don't get the guy. He's cool. Then tomorrow, tonight, the World's Shortest Parade. St. Patty's Day, World's Shortest Parade. Downtown Wenatchee, right around where McLinn's is. They literally just go down the one block.
The shortest parade.
6:15, that is, tonight. And then Kashmir has their St. Patrick's Day Parade, which is a little bit longer. It's 1 block. They go around 1 block down Main in Kashmir, or whatever that is. So that's at 7 p.m. So you could potentially do the world's shortest parade in Wenatchee and then go to Kashmir for the Kashmir parade.
It's true.
You can double dip on your St. Patty's Day parades. Matt Pippin, remember, telling us that tonight is trivia night at the museum for teens and adults. You got to register. They're encouraging you to register, but it is a free event. Starts at 7 p.m. Go to the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center's website to get registered for that. Also this weekend, you got the Bighorns playing a couple of different games, as well as the Wenatchee Wild playing tonight and tomorrow. So Vancouver Volcanoes versus the Wenatchee Bighorns. That's at Chelan High School tonight.
Go Bighorns.
Go Bighorns. Merritt Centennials for St. Hattrick's at Wenatchee Wild tonight. We talked about that. The Moses Lake Brews and Tunes Festival is happening at multiple venues in Moses Lake. Music and beer. Most people like that. Speaking of music and, well, not beer, but wine, we have the downtown Wenatchee Wine Stroll is tomorrow. And then the Wild are versus Cranbrook, and Pucks and Paws night for Walt's birthday is tomorrow. So that's what's going on. I mean, I'm sure there's more. And then we also talked about the oh my gosh, my brain.
That's what happens when you have exhaustion.
No, it's not exhaustion. It's aphasia. It's just like, I was just talking about it and it was right there. My girlfriend's closet at the Wenatchee Valley Mall starts today, and that is a fundraiser where so I started to talk about it. It's where they collect new and gently used clothing from all throughout the year, and then they make a store, and it's in the Wenatchee Valley Mall this year. You have 3 days to go and shop, and obviously it's all profit at that point, because it was just basically selling clothes that was all donations. So, but it's clothes, it's accessories, it's jewelry, it's shoes, all different things. So that's today, tomorrow, and Sunday. And
where do all the proceeds go for that?
So they collect money, and then they give out grants to local nonprofits that help out a bunch of different organizations, right? But mostly there's like Lighthouse Christian Ministry, Sage, YWCA. There's a bunch of different ones. A lot of female-oriented organizations, moms that need help, maybe single moms or women who are trying to get back into the workforce, things like that. So really great. So Women's Service League of North Central Washington is the umbrella organization that does that work, and they're doing pretty good work throughout the year.
Yeah, people should definitely go and check that out this weekend then.
Yeah, thank you. Nick says, let's go wild.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, we think the same. They need every point they can get at this point, right? Holy moly. So next, oh my gosh. Hop and Shop is next weekend. Can we just think about this for a second? Wine Walk is this weekend. Hop and Shop is next weekend.
Oh, yes. And I encourage anyone and everyone to go and like Lenesse on their Facebook page, because there could be something you're missing out on for the Hop and Shop.
I don't get it. People are not following them on like Instagram and TikTok, and they're missing chances for like free tickets to this thing.
Yeah.
So that's the only clue I'm going to give you right now. That's it, because this is basically like these. I don't even know why this isn't sold out right now, because these tickets like sell themselves, and the only reason is probably because of the wine walk, right? People are going, they're like, oh, I'm going to go to the wine walk, and then they're waiting till like they get paid, and then they're going to buy their tickets for Hop and Shop because they've already bought their wine walk tickets. It's the only thing that I can think of at this point, because this is what you get. VIP shuttle is $55 for a ticket. That's
You're not driving.
And you're not driving.
It's great.
It's great. So you get to go on and off of the VIP shuttle that literally like chauffeurs you and your friends around all day. And then you go to 12 different stores that are some that you may have been to, some you probably may not have been to, which is great. You get a new experience. But every store that you go into, you get a coupon for something off or something free or something, right? Like you get deals. Yes. So like you're shopping, you're saving, and then at the end of it, you get to party. Right? I get to go and hang out, and I get to host this party, and then I get to give away like 15 prizes, like a massive amount of prizes at the end of the night. So you're shopping, you're saving, and then you're winning. And all for like $55.
Yeah, I'm all about the VIP because you don't have to look for parking. Right. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about missing out and the shuttle takes off because you had to drive, but it took you 15 minutes to find a parking spot. I'm all about it. All the businesses that are participating in Hop and Shop are amazing small businesses here in the Valley. And I say, I don't care if you're male or female, this is something you do not want to miss out on.
It's true.
Go over to Lenesse's Facebook page, like and follow them, and get some more exclusive content of what Hop and Shop is about just through that.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's lenesse.net if you need to get the tickets, LANACIE.net. And the 12 places, all good things. So you're going to get money. Like, this is the thing. Like, you not only get on there, you get like money off, and you can win a prize from that place. So all good things. Inner Grove Tea Company, which that place is so cute. Firehouse Pet Shop. I love that.
I love that place.
Like, oh, can you even get me out of that place? Simply Unique. The Wenatchee Wear. Yale Bookshop.
Another good one.
One of my haunts. The Time Capsule.
Another great place.
If you've never been, that's also a really awesome place. Tumbleweed.
Another great place.
Mountain Chick Floral.
Yes.
Henry Harrow. So gorgeous. I love that store. So those are the stops on the Hop and Shop. So go check it out. Buy your tickets. It's going to be a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
And I love to host parties. So I will be hosting that party at Class with a Glass at the end. But I can host your parties too. So you know, that's another way that you can support us and support this business. We do karaoke, we do live karaoke and private karaoke parties and kids karaoke, and all kinds of things. We do game nights and which have been fun to develop, those game nights.
They are pretty fun.
Everybody keeps asking, when is the next time you're going to do a game night? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't.
It's
have
been
not
a very
been working on
popular
it.
question. When's the next game night? Did I miss it?
You have not missed it. I have not developed a game night in a while. When I do, everybody will know about it. Yeah.
And that's definitely something you want to buy your ticket to participate in.
But I'm excited to get some music bingo out there and some of the trivia nights with Geeks Who Drink. So that's our partner for trivia nights.
Very exciting stuff.
It is. If you'd like to book us, you can always check the calendar of where we are and if we are available for what night you need us at darlingproductionswa.com. What is that website? So March of the Pippin is on.
This is a big deal, right?
It is a big deal. Matthew Pippin, you can start supporting him now through numericapac.org. It's the third annual March of the Pippin. March 26th, he's going to attempt to be walking 275,000 steps, which they say is about 140 miles in a week.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot. Why? It's a lot of walking.
Gosh, Matthew. Why? Why exactly? It's to help raise money for the theater and to raise some awareness for the performing arts, which is okay. That legit, it's a good reason.
It's a very good reason.
Yeah.
There's all the shows that they put on at the PAC. It's incredible because there's a variety. There's a little bit of everything that goes on there all year, and you don't know unless you don't go look. And I didn't know. I mean, I knew about the PAC and I knew where it was, but unless you just look up in the windows there, you see some of the events. You really don't know what's going on or what's upcoming.
It's true.
So March of the Pippin is a really big deal because it really helps them to get some of these different amazing things, like the steps. I'm sorry, it's the
Step Africa.
That is so cool.
So cool.
I had to go and figure out what that was all about. And before they had the brothers that were literally like the percussionists playing the marimba.
Percussions.
That was so cool. But unless you go and look, you don't know.
They have a Queen tribute coming.
Yes.
Queen tribute band singer, whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go.
There's just a lot of incredible things. It's not just plays. It is lots of other different types of family, fun, friendly events.
Yeah.
And they have the comedy, that goes on.
The black box comedy.
It's just really good to support things going on here in the Valley. So I say, if you can, go out there and support Matthew Pippin and help him make those steps happen, because that's what we're doing. We are like, hey, we will donate to help you. Now let's get those steps in. It's a good thing. It's all for a very good cause.
Yeah. numericapac.org is where you can get more information and the link to make a donation if you would like, or you can call 663-ARTS. And you can also join Matthew tonight. He's hosting trivia at the museum. It's a free event, starts at 7, goes till 9. Trivia for teens and adults. They'll have light snacks available, wine or beer for purchase, they say, for 21 and older. Teams of 2 to 8 players compete for top prizes in this evening of challenging trivia. I hope I did that dynamically enough for you, Matthew. Probably not. Admission is free, but please register so they can have a head count. WenatcheeValleyMuseum.org. That's a fun time for them. Okay, Grayson.
Yes.
I'm going to let you pick the next topic that we talk about.
Wow. Okay. I'm being put on the spot, and I don't even know what the selection of topics
Yes,
are.
you do. Don't act like you come into the show and don't know what we're going to talk about.
No, we have a meeting. We sit down and we talk about everything. But when I'm on air, I do get stage fright. So I do go. I don't know if it's ever happened to you. I'm drawing a huge blank.
Yeah, it happens to me at least 17 times per show. I have been doing this long enough that I can figure out how to get around it. Okay, your 2 talk topics that you can choose from are Pluto entering Aquarius, or...
Let's just jump right into that.
Oh, you do? You want to jump
yeah.
You didn't even get to hear the second option.
It's okay. I remembered after you said the first one. And this one is the one that I'm had no idea until you started talking about it this morning. That I'm like, what? 3 months of what? What are you talking about? Science, technology? What's happening here?
Okay. Oh, I have to say, since this is a live show, my husband has decided to give my son a Twinkie, which he knows that would not fly. So this is like a Friday, St. Patty's Day. Mom's at work and on a live show and can't have a say, so I'm gonna text her while she's doing a live show saying I'm giving a Twinkie to our kid.
It's really not unusual with Ryan.
Not. But I will also take this opportunity to show our audience a picture of what my son looked like this morning.
Look at that cutie.
Going to school or daycare or whatever. He is pinch proof, isn't he? This cute little kid. Oh my gosh.
To know him is to know him.
The picture just says so much.
Did Brian also send you a photograph with Twinkie all over his face?
No.
Oh, so he didn't want to rub it in as well. Yeah. Nice.
Little does he know, he's the one that's going to have to deal with the sugar high.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The kid should be sleeping. This is nap time. You know what? It's okay. We're going to move on.
What's going on with Pluto?
Pluto is entering into Aquarius. Why is this something that we need to worry about? What do we need to know about it? It's happening very soon, March 23rd to June 11th. So I got this email from Jason Underwood, who is the host of another podcast on our network. He hosts Activating Your Innate Intelligence, and it's all about using your mind to heal your body. You know, that we already have the power within us to transform and make transformations. But he also is an acupuncturist. He works a lot in Eastern medicine and Chinese medicine and knows a lot about astrology and the stars. And he follows the stars like that, the charts, right? He's not just like, he is kind of hippy dippy. I mean, if you met him, he is hippy dippy, but he's also really smart.
No, Jason is really
smart.
Yeah.
And he has charts and books and he writes things out. And so when I get an email, I don't always get emails from him, but when I got an email from him, and so when I do, I know this is for me. Like he went, okay, Moonchild, here, this is for you. And I feel like this would resonate with you. So he sent this to me, and it says that from March 23rd to June 11th, Pluto's going into Aquarius. And the takeaway is that for the first time in 2 centuries, how long is a century?
Oh, it's a long time because I believe you said the 1700s, and I was sorry, what, the 1700s is the last time this happened?
Oh, a century is 100 years.
Well, that's a long time ago. It's like another world.
So for the first time in 2 centuries, the planet of secrets, the underworld journeys, and transformations plugs into the hive mind of Aquarius. We're talking about our collective hive mind and where it gets its power from. So why is this Plutonian shift really important? It might not be for you, but I'm trying to make it accessible. He talks in like a Plutonian language, right? So I'm trying to take his knowledge and be like, okay, why is this important to me? How does this relate to me in my technology world, in my communication world, right? So Pluto hasn't journeyed through Aquarius since, I told you, the late 1700s. So through this little 3-month stint that is going to happen, it's going to be a once in a several centuries little roller coaster ride that we're going to be on. And when Pluto enters Aquarius, it enters and it brings with it its transformative themes. So specifically in the realms of information technology, data, science, and systems of power.
And systems
of power.
I'm sorry, I just had to elaborate that in part.
Well, it's important, right? And
it
systems
is.
and power. So let's break this down. Let's talk about it. So by the end of this stint, we can, and this is what this says, this is not my words, these are the words, we can expect our social norms and ideologies to be radically transformed. I'm going to say it again. We can expect our social norms and our ideologies to be radically transformed. Now, can we just go like full circle, like back to a conversation that we started this podcast on earlier today of, okay, I love radio and I've lived most of half my life doing radio. And now I'm in this transformative time in my life where I'm trying to really understand and accept the fact that radio for me is not as impactful. It's missing. There's something missing there. And the way that was normal for me is no longer, it's not normal, right? Like this is normal. This is my full-time job. Now this is normal. My norm has been completely transformed. So that's a very small example of what could be happening on a larger metaphysical scale.
Right.
For us energetically in the world. Right?
I mean, my mind was blown when you talked about all of this, and so I'm like, spit it out. Say your truth.
Well, because what we focus on during this time is going to be really important, because we can continue to focus on the problem. And then at the end of this transformative time, we're going to still be in the problem.
Maybe.
No, I'm just saying that will be the case.
Okay.
Or the other option is we can focus on the solutions. We can focus on this transformation. We can focus on different ideologies, different political ideologies. We can think about a solution to our dissension. We can think, because it's talking about realms of information technology and science, systems and power. So if whatever we focus our mind on during this time, at the end of it, we're locked in. We're locked in. So let's focus on the right stuff for the next few months. Put our energies into putting the right messages in the right places
Absolutely.
to transform the right minds.
It was really encouraging to hear, honestly, because there are two different ways it can go, as you explained. But positivity begets positivity.
Yeah.
Right? So basically it's whatever you're gonna put out there is what you're gonna get. And then you're gonna be locked in to that.
Which is why I'm an even more determined that this was the right way to be, right?
Right.
Like right here, right now, doing this, having these conversations, so that I am confident. Because I'm just hoping that we're doing it fast enough for the universe. But maybe this was the universe's way of putting us in the right place at the right time for Pluto to enter Aquarius. Now we're ready.
I would like to say we could be. I think some of us really are and don't realize we've been prepared for it. But the trials and tribulations we've gone through have prepared us for that moment. But that's more for a more philosophical, deeper conversation. I just look at this particular topic and I'm like, okay, what this is telling me is I need to really focus on positive things going on around me that are having to do with technology and science.
Right.
And harness that positivity so that when I come out on the other side after June 11th, something really far better will happen or occur. That's kind of how I'm taking it from what I was hearing about it, because it's just easy to fall into the negative, letting it kind of feed off of you, if you will. So I'm like, well, locked in at the end, what does all this mean? And then I listen to you talk about it and I'm like, oh, I need to make sure that my attitude comes right for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty important.
It is important. I mean, it's always important to get your attitude right. But when we're talking about an expectation that our social norms and our systems of power and ideologies are going to be radically transformed, that's pretty powerful.
It is powerful. And it's big step. I mean, in my mind, when you were explaining it this morning, I was imagining the masses finally coming together and doing something that they haven't done since the 70s, which is mass peaceful protest about things that are going on, because there is a lot going on that is negative out there. And it has to do with exactly what we're talking about, ironically. So
yeah,
that's where my mind went. And that's why I'm over here.
Yeah.
Because my mind really is blown just because I didn't make that correlation.
And it's interesting for me because I know that we are going to have some shifts in power, even locally here. I know I'm
getting whited out. It happens.
And that's on me, totally on me. We should explain to people. I said, oh, we're going to be totally fine. It's daylight savings. You're not going to get caught by the sun. And what is happening? He's getting caught by the sun. It's just happening a little bit later in the broadcast because of daylight savings. So
I'd rather it be me than have it be one of the guests.
I'm so sorry,
It's
Grayson. Okay. If you need to move, I can.
That's okay. I can Corey Hart this and wear my sunglasses during the day.
Nice.
Inside.
Yeah, very good.
There you go.
You can totally shift and we'll make it work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just move a little bit out of the way here.
Oh, you know what I am missing? I'm probably missing some cool green sunglasses from Pair Up Cider. They would have been perfect today.
Yeah, I'm very envious of those very cool shades that
bottle
you got.
Opener shades.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I'm gonna have to go over there and buy some from the cidery.
Oh, probably yeah. So I don't know about this. I think
we should touch base on this topic.
Maybe I'll get Jason on the show.
It'd be great. He'd
Maybe
have a really
come on.
good.
Oh my gosh,
He'd
he'd
have
be
great
perfect to come
explanation.
on at the Crystal store next week. Could you imagine if he had the time? That I know he's just a super busy guy, but I'll talk to him and see if he can join us next week at the Crystal shop.
I feel like everyone should know Jason. I really do.
Well, I feel like no, you can't all have Jason because he's like mine. But everybody needs a Jason. Because if everybody takes this Jason, then he's not going to be there for me.
I'm
totally selfish.
I feel very honored that I got to bond with him for hours. I will not forget that. He's just a very interesting guy, and you can't help but like gravitate towards information and have a conversation. It's pretty cool.
Well, I have to say that Jason has really has helped me in my life. I met Jason through Ryan, and he's really helped me open my eyes to a lot of different things. I think I'm a pretty open-minded person anyway, but just a different realm of reality that I wasn't even attuned to, that I was like, oh, okay, I'll listen and I'll learn. And I can admit there have been conversations that we have had in our old kitchen in Dakota, where we sat there and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, he would just talk for like 20 minutes and I'd be like, I'm lost. I'm just lost. And I had to be okay with that for a while. My brain or my mind or my soul or my whatever was just not ready to hear the message. And then eventually I was. I feel like that makes me a little bit unique, is that I go easy on myself where, in that sense. And I don't pretend to have all the answers.
That's the wonderful thing about him, though, because when we sat down and were talking, and obviously I don't know Jason that well, I was really lost in the words of what he was talking about. And I had to stop him and ask questions. And then he didn't dumb it down. He just slowed and dialed it back a little bit. And then once I picked up on it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the conversation I haven't had a conversation of this kind of magnitude in a long time.
Yeah.
And then I felt like my soul was like regenerating, if you will. It was like re-energizing.
Yeah.
And I was really empowered going forward just based on the conversation that we had. And he didn't know me and I didn't know him, but it left a lasting impression upon me that it has been the most positive thing. So,
well, Jason is an energy mover, right? He kind of does some of that with his acupuncture, acupressure. He does accutone, so he works with sound and tones. But if you do meet him, he never stops moving. So it's a really interesting process that I have for recording him and for his podcast. How do you record somebody that just doesn't stop moving? It's hard because he doesn't. He is always moving, his energy always around everything, and this is what he would sound like if I tried to do it like that. So it's pretty interesting. So we'll see if I can get him onto here to maybe do this, but I don't pretend to know everything, right? And some people do. But that's why I explore. That's why I investigate. I think that's why I'm a lifelong learner, lifelong student.
That's a very good way of looking at it, though.
Because especially when it comes to my self-growth and emotional maturity in life, because I could really easily be like, oh, I haven't drank in 20 years and I've been in the program and I've worked the steps and all of this stuff. I have no problem breaking my own anonymity, because this is it. This is what you get, people. And I've done a lot of that work, and it really has helped over the years to make me a different person, do that psychic personality change, and I think if that works for you, then great. I know that this works for thousands, hundreds, thousands, millions of people. It doesn't work for everybody.
No.
Everybody recovers differently. I had to get to a point where I didn't judge people on the way that they recover. Hopefully that they don't judge me on the way that I recover, because I don't recover, perfectly. Nobody does. But then I also can't say that that's going to be the end all be all of my spiritual growth, right? Maybe going to church is going to help. Maybe going to a synagogue is going to help. Maybe going to meditation is going to help. Maybe climbing a mountain is going to help. Maybe getting an intuitive reading at the crystal store is going to help. Maybe investing in that energy is going to help. Maybe getting acupuncture is going to, I don't know.
It's true.
So I'm just going to do it all. Or whatever feels right to me, right? Whatever I gravitate towards. Some things don't feel right, so I back away. If it feels right and I gravitate towards it, and I actually am learning and I'm getting stuff from it, and I'm feeling my soul being more and more fulfilled, I'm going to stack the deck, man. I'm going to go to AA meetings. I'm going to go to the crystal store. I'm going to climb that mountain. I'm going to meditate, right?
Yeah.
Why not? Do it all. I don't know which one is working to which degree. I can't tell you that this stone that I carry is working 86% or 6%. I can't tell you that. But I'm stacking the deck. Because I want my soul to feel good.
And isn't that the mission? Personal growth.
Right.
Insight and wisdom and happiness. Because that's what we're working to achieve.
Right.
So that's why we're forever learners, everyone knows a little bit about many, many things because you never stop learning and you're open.
And if you remain open, I don't think everybody does.
No, I don't either.
Think everybody remains open.
I mean, I know my neighbor got me a healing stone, right? And when I first got this healing stone, I'm like, okay, so I've got this healing stone. Then it's not really going to heal CRPS in my hands.
Right.
But I have this healing stone. There's this potential, right? And I'm like you. I'm like, okay, it's one of these things where I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm not just going to do positive thinking. Now I'm going to add this stone to it. And I'm going to re-energize my stone with this energizing stone that energizes my stones. And then I got more stones. My neighbor kept bringing different kinds over. And I'm like, I don't know if it's working. But what I do know is that I'm feeling a lot better about myself because I'm doing the hard work. And I may not be in recovery, but I'm still doing the hard
Well, it doesn't have to be recovery. It could be anything.
Yeah, it could be therapy. Mine is therapy. And I put in that hard, laborious work into it because it's what I'm going to get in return is what I put into it. And for me, it's becoming the best version of myself. I'm sure for you, you can say the same. It's just being a better version of you.
Yeah. And then I'm going to change. And then a better version of that's going to, it's always evolving, a more, I don't know if it's a better version. I just think it's a more evolved version.
Oh, I like to see it as a better version of me. When I look back in the past.
Because that makes me look so negatively on the different versions of who I was previously. And I don't want to look negatively on who I was previously. I want to be able to look back and say, okay, every version of myself needed to exist for a reason.
There we go. And that's what I'm getting at right there. It's not looking at it negatively and seeing and thinking the other versions are bad. It's exactly what you just said. Mm-hmm. And that's actually a conversation that Jason and I had is literally being able to do just that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty powerful.
It's hard.
It is. The work is hard.
but I think it also helps if you like who you are in the moment too. So if you like who you are now, like I enjoy who I am now. And I can't at the same time mutually look at myself and like myself now and also not like who I was before. Because everything up to this point has made me exactly who I am now. Good, bad, indifferent, even the really bad, right? Even though all that stuff that I go, I wish that never happened. I would never want that to happen to me or to anybody else ever again, or I wouldn't wish it on my enemy. Even that stuff I had to go through because that makes me who I am now. It gives me the perspective on the world that I have now.
Exactly.
It gives me the grace, dignity, patience, tolerance, kindness, love that I approach the world in now. And I wouldn't have any of that.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, when you think about what you're saying right now, just think about it for a second. You are saying, hey, I love me, and I love this me, and I love this me, and I love this me. But you went through all of those as lessons, right? They are something that you needed to learn to get to the other side, the next thing that was important, right?
Right.
And that's how I look at it. That was that conversation Jason and I had. I didn't look at it like that. But he changed the perspective just by shifting it just enough that it made more sense to me and became clear to me that to have this organic shift, and it has to be an organic shift in the way that you think.
Yeah.
Then you can see why you went through what you went through to be where you are. And you are becoming a better version of yourself as you go along because you're learning from each experience that you're put in. And so, I mean, that's why I'm just like, okay, I want to be positive. I want to put positive out there. And there's enough negativity out there. I don't need to be a part of it.
Right.
I don't need to lean and rock with it. And so that conversation has really shifted my thinking. And I mean, people out there don't know me the way that you know me, as an example. But I went through a really, really rough time last year.
Mm-hmm.
And my train of thought and all of my thoughts then were very dark and depressing. To see that 180 happen, what do you think? I mean, it's pretty amazing to have one impactful conversation with somebody where it shifts your focus and you can see, all right, this is where I want to be. So getting these stones, I don't know if they're like 100% effective. All I can tell anyone is, hey, I'm doing it. The same as you. I'm doing it. It means something to me.
Yeah. And I don't want people to go, oh man, Nikki was just on her podcast, is talking about herself the entire time. Listen, we can only speak from our own experience, right? So when I want to talk about a topic like emotional growth or these topics that we've brought up in this conversation, I can only really talk about them through the context of my own experience.
Yeah.
So it will naturally lead to us talking through my experience and not really wanting to talk about myself because that has up to this point been very uncomfortable and actually has been discouraged
a little bit. But the only way we can have conversations is to have conversations through our own lens of our personal experience. It would feel so fake and staged to try to speak at any other way.
Yeah.
You know, and so you have to be just vulnerable enough to be willing to put that part of yourself out there, right? And that is your power. It is your power.
And that's why I keep liking to bring Tom back on, our Chief Hope Officer, Tom Neese.
Tom is awesome.
he's another one that I keep having these conversations with, and he's been a good sounding board. So that's why I keep inviting him back onto the program, because I think that we have a lot of different types of conversations every week, right? We talk about what's happening. We give you a rundown. We talk, as we get through into April and May, we're going to start talking about the mayoral races for Wenatchee and East Wenatchee. We talk about some stuff like the Booster Club today. We talked with Walt. Like we get information out there. But we also have been talking about a lot more personal things on the show, and really heavy stuff that affects our community too, like affects all of us.
Oh yeah.
And so I appreciate the people out there who are that message is resonating with too. They don't just tune us out like when we're like, oh, let's talk about Pluto and Aquarius and what that means for data transfer.
But this is also why it's nice having a text line and a comment section to leave, because we want other people to be a part of the conversations that we're having. Yeah. And to get input from other people is tremendous, because we're a community. We're here to work together as a team, not work against each other. We're not on our own individual teams. We're all the same. And that is the message I hope people see with this podcast. But speaking of one topic we haven't discussed.
I know, yeah. We have like 10 minutes left here on the program, and we have not even touched upon this 2-lane roundabout.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about it. This is the hard one.
I mean, I don't find it difficult. It doesn't really matter to me. But the Washington State Department of Transportation, they're hoping to improve traffic flow and reduce the severity of collisions at the intersection of Highway 2 and 97 and Easy Street. So has everybody got that in their mind where that is? 297 Easy Street. North Wenatchee area. They're going to put in the very first 2-lane roundabout in eastern Washington State. Why are people excited about this?
I'm not excited about this.
Why is this exciting?
That's not.
It's 2 lanes, people. Not 1, it's 2. It's a roundabout, and you drive around it. And you yield to the left. That's it. Why is this? Okay, can you please fill me in at why this is making everybody go out of their flippin' minds?
I can't speak for everyone. I can only speak for myself.
Okay.
And I feel that local government is like, we don't need traffic lights. It's cheaper to put in a roundabout. And I feel the safety committee that works on the highway stuff and their devotion to trying to make a safer means to get around, right? It makes sense in theory. In practice, not so much, because when you learn to drive, especially when you're my age group, you've always learned that you yield to the right of way. But that is not how a roundabout works. And there really weren't roundabouts when I took driver's ed. We didn't have that.
It just became more of a recent
phenomenon.
All the Washington State drivers and put you into New Jersey and put you in a jug handle. Okay, we're putting all of you into a jug handle to try and figure out, and you're all going to miss your turn.
I did.
Nobody's turning left. Nobody.
I've driven around in circle in that thing and did not make it to my destination because I thought if I was in the innermost lane, I would make that left. No. And that's not how it works.
No, if you want to turn left, you have to be on the right-hand lane. How does that make sense? Oh my gosh. And I just read this. Get this. When the construction of the roundabout finishes, the city of Wenatchee will step in to add a sculpture as an entry art feature.
I'm going to keep my personal comment about that to myself. I feel my heart right now is going to go out to that sculptor because it's a roundabout. People go through the middle of the roundabout.
Well, you need to find something that is all the way around. But if you're trying to save money, okay, we're not going to put in a traffic light. Like, I'm just playing devil's advocate of the argument that you just made, saying we don't want to put in a traffic light. It's cheaper to put in a roundabout, but we had to put in a roundabout, and then we got to pay an artist a commission to put a piece of art in the middle of it.
That has to be maintained.
So
that also comes with its own expense.
And we're all going to fight about the fact that nobody wants any more roundabouts.
I think that
nobody knows how to drive in them. Somebody stopped. They stopped their car in the middle of driving through a roundabout. You cannot stop driving. It's just like driving on a street. If you're driving on a street, would you stop in the middle of the road? I'm sorry, am I getting?
No, you're being passionate about it, and I think that that's fair. I think being passionate about something is totally fair. I'm trying to dodge the sun here.
Come all the way over here.
I just have to keep moving
this.
Here we go. That's better.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
As long as it's not in my face,
left.
I don't care if I'm illuminated.
Meanwhile, I look like I'm Casper, the friendly St. Patrick's Day ghost. Doesn't matter.
No, talking about the roundabout thing is hard. And this is a very challenging intersection where this is going. And you have to remember, you've got people exiting after they get off of the avenue, flipping around Cascade Auto there. And you've got traffic that's coming into town. You have traffic that's going out of town onto. So there's a lot going on at this intersection. And there are people that want to get through it to get to the other side to Sunny Slope. You've got people that are trying to get into Old Station via Easy Street. This is a very conflicting intersection. So I think that if I take my personal feelings out of it and I look at it from a different perspective, it is a means to try to keep everybody safe as they travel through this very, very heavy intersection. You do have people that run the red light. That is a risk that is scary if you think about it, because you've got people that are like coming off of 2 or coming off of 97 there, and they want to continue on. The light turns red. It's a confusing area. So
I'll be interested to see how it all lands. Yeah, I mean, not that we all have any choice in the matter.
I just personally will just never go that direction if I want to leave. I can't. It's other people. It's not me and my confidence in the roundabout. It's those who do stop, because it happens.
You know, I didn't have much trouble with roundabouts until April. Until April asked me the question about it, and now everybody who drives in a roundabout just annoys me. But literally, this person just stopped. And I'm like, what are you doing? Okay, I'm going to move on.
It's okay.
This is going to be a topic that we will continue to discuss. And hopefully people will interact with us. You can always go to see us online on Facebook. Obviously, some of us are already looking at this through Facebook. So you can always get in contact with us there. We have the comment section here. So if you make comments as the show's going on, we can see them. We can actually highlight them. Like Nick says, let's go wild. There it is right there. Yeah.
And I encourage anyone that wants to talk about these topics to speak up. Even if it's not during the show today, you can do it at any point in time, and we will revisit it.
And we have been broadcasting from the Town Toyota Center today as part of our St. Patrick's Day celebration. They're doing St. Hattrick's night tonight while going up against the Merit Centennials. So doors open 5:45 and first puck drop 7:05. We'll be here just right over there when you first come in the front door doing music and karaoke. And there's a whole lot more fun. You'll see the booster club. You'll do raffles, 50-50. There's a game area, and it's a big party in here for like the first hour before the game. So if you do have tickets for tonight's game, come on down a little bit early and have some fun. And if you don't, you can still get some tickets. Their box office is open right now, or you can go to WenatcheeWildHockey.com. And if you aren't coming here, maybe you're going to head up to Union Hill Cider Company. I know Joe is getting his food truck ready. They're going to be starting at the Blue Sky food truck at 4 o'clock. We got a little pop in from him earlier in the show, giving us an idea of what specials he's going to be handing out tonight at Union Hill while they have some live music going on for their St. Patty's Day celebration too. So it's a lot happening tonight in town and all over the region throughout the rest of the weekend. My Girlfriend's Closet over at the mall, and that's a fundraiser. So this is their biggest fundraiser for them throughout the year, where then they give grants back to other nonprofits in the area. So we really appreciate the fact that you were with us today, and if you were interacting or if you were just watching, we do appreciate it. You kind of look like a little leprechaun right now.
I feel like a little leprechaun right now.
So we will be back next week. We're going to be broadcasting from the All Good Things Crystals, Rocks, and Minerals, 1630 North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to that new Avid Hotel. You can see them right from there. And we'll be there live. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We get an extra Friday in March. So lucky you get an extra episode of the What's Up Wenatchee podcast. Check out all the past episodes of our live broadcasts on the What's Up Wenatchee YouTube page. They're all up there. And then the first 2 seasons, which were audio only, you can check out where any place that streams podcasts. So Google, Apple, Spotify, or any other podcaster. We would really appreciate if you supported us by joining the Supercast What's Up Wenatchee community, and that does go right back to support this podcast and free speech. And if you don't know what that means, you can go back and rewatch the first segment of this show, because that's what we talked about, and how we are fully community supported right now. This is what we do and what I do full time right now. So we thank you for your support. You can catch up on all of our episodes on our What's Up Wenatchee YouTube page. Like I said, we're going to be back with Tom Neese and maybe Jason next week. So cool. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be something? Always go to darlingpodcasts.com or to book us for any live events, darlingproductionswa.com. And before I go, I will let you look one more time, at Grayson. Say bye, Grayson, because I'm going to cover your face with the cute little picture of my son.
Oh, look at the trend.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us. Happy St. Patty's Day. Be safe and use a designated driver. Have a good day.